Mega Mike the Movie Man, and today I got a mega movie plan. Today I am back with another mega video for you all. Today I'm going to be showing off my entire 4K Steelbook collection, so I'm just going to be going through the movies and maybe say a little bit about some of them. So let's get started, and I organized this by genre. So we'll start with my favorite genre. We're going to get into superhero films. So this is going to be The Avengers. Really nice looking steelbook. Really enjoyed this movie. I think it was a great start to the Avenger movies. Next we have Avengers Age of Ultron. Probably my least favorite out of the Avenger movies, but still a really nice steelbook, and there's still some fun sequences in here. The Hulkbuster is awesome in it. Next, to get into one of my favorite movies of all time, is going to be Avengers Infinity War. This is a fantastic movie. Great introduction to Thanos. Really like this steelbook too with the gauntlet. Awesome. Next, we're going into Avengers Endgame. So yes, I have all the Avenger movies on 4K steelbook. You know what? This one is probably my least favorite though, out of the steelbooks, just because I think it's a little simple design. They could have done a lot more with Endgame. But really good movie. One of my favorite MCU movies. But I still think I prefer Infinity War over that one. Next, we have Black Panther. Now, this is an okay steelbook. Very artistic design. And I did enjoy this movie. So, can't wait to see what they do with the sequel. Next, we got Black Widow. Very simple design for the steelbook, and I thought the movie was alright. Not the best MCU movie. Didn't have the greatest villain, so that's why it got brought down a little bit on my list. Next, we got Captain America, the first Avenger. I really enjoy this movie. I think this one's very underrated. A really good origin story for Captain America. Next, we got Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Really, really good movie. Awesome political thriller. Great, great story. And this is an awesome front cover. That one's also pretty high up on my favorite MCU list movies. Next, my favorite MCU movie of all time, Captain America Civil War. Oh, this one's really awesome. I can just watch this one all the time. Really like the front cover where you got the two sides squaring off. Next, we got Captain Marvel. Now, this one is a little bit more towards the bottom tier of MCU movies for me, but I'm trying to collect all the steelbooks from now on for all the superhero movies, so wanted to pick this one up, but I don't watch that one as much as others. Oh, this one was awesome. Shang-Chi. If you saw my review on this, you know I really enjoy this movie. One of the best films of last year. Such a great time. And also a pretty good steelbook. Alright, so those were the MCU Marvel movies. Now we'll take a look at some Sony superhero films. So this is going to be Spider-Man Far From Home. Now this was a really awesome steelbook. I like how they included all the characters on the front. Really, really nice. Next we got Venom. I really had a fun time with this movie. It isn't great, but I do like the chemistry between Eddie Brock and Venom. So a nice little origin story. Next, I got this one fairly recent. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. You got a lot going on there on the front. But I enjoyed this movie as well. I think it was a step above the first one. Still not great, but fun action movie. Next, going into some Fox superhero movies, we got Deadpool 2. I thought this movie was a fun time. Did really enjoy that one. Cable was awesome in it. Juggernaut was great. Then we got the New Mutants, and I actually really like this Steelbook. I think that looks really cool and fits with the movie. And I really like this one. I think this one's very underrated as well. I like horror as well. So combining the two genres of superhero film with horror, I thought made for a really fun movie. So I enjoy that one more than most. Next, getting to my DC 4K Steelbooks. Aquaman, I really like the art design on this one. And this is a really awesome movie. When I first saw it, I really enjoyed this one. Great fantasy superhero movie right here. Can't wait to see the sequel because I'm a really big Black Manta fan. I hope they utilize him a lot in the sequel. Next, we got Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. I do like the front cover on here. Thought this one was a decent movie. Not great, but I still had a fun time with it. And I'm a big Harley Quinn fan as well because I'm a big Joker fan. All right, next we got Shazam. Oh, this was such a pleasant surprise. I've always enjoyed the Shazam character, and this was a really fun movie. I really liked this one. Kind of simple on the Steelbook, though. Another recent pickup, the Suicide Squad. What James Gunn was able to do with this movie was awesome, with all those characters introduced. And look at all those little icons on the front, because it's showing off all the different villains in this movie, all the Suicide Squad members. Really great. A lot of good detail. I mean, you could kind of just go through and pick out all the different characters. Really nice. Yeah, awesome Steelbook. Really good Steelbook. And a fun movie. Next, I got Wonder Woman. Now, I have a few different copies of Wonder Woman actually, but I do like this 4K Steelbook design. And I thought this was a pretty good movie as well. Next, I got Wonder Woman 84. Now, I really like this Steelbook. Has a good 80s feel to it. And I actually enjoy this movie more than most. Now, it's not perfect, it's not great. Yeah, more times you keep watching it, you kind of see some of the flaws. But I enjoyed it, definitely for my first watch of it as well. I think this one's underrated. Not a great movie, but I think it's pretty good. All right, now getting into a DC movie that's kind of separate from the universe, at least right now. You got the Joker, and wow, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely let me know if I should do a full-on review of this one. But I really like this movie. I can watch this one over and over again. And nice Steelbook there with the Joker on the front. Now to get into some more superhero films that are away from the DC and Marvel universe. We got Unbreakable. Now, this was an amazing Steelbook right here. This actually won my Meggie for Best Steelbook for last year. Look at it. It's just great with the glass shattering on front. You got the two characters. The purple and the green just goes together so nicely. Really nice Steelbook. I really enjoyed this one. And that movie is awesome. You know, Shyamalan's one of the best films in my opinion. So if I got Unbreakable, I gotta have. Oops, that actually isn't a Steelbook, but a really nice 4K slipcover. Maybe in the future I'll go over that one. We'll have a separate video for that. So we got our next movie right here. I really like this one actually. Really nice cover, having the three main characters on it. And this is just a really fun movie. Added a lot of good comedy to the action moments. Awesome movie. Alright, so those are all my superhero movies in 4K Steelbook form. Now let's take a look at my horror movies. This is my second favorite genre. So we got Christine. Now this was not a great Steelbook, very plain. I wish they could have done more of it, but I got it for super cheap. I think it was like 15 bucks. So, you know, I'll take a 4K disc for 15 bucks all day, every day. And I really like this movie, big John Carpenter fan. So Really, really entertaining movie. Great for the Halloween season. Then I got the Evil Dead collection right here with Evil Dead 1 and 2. Really nice steelbook here. Like the protection it has on the front. And these are decent little horror movies. Definitely very gory and graphic. But Ash Williams is awesome. So I haven't watched it a lot of times, but I thought it was pretty decent. Now we got Gremlins. Now Gremlins, more of kind of a gateway horror. You know, not rated R. Now this is a fun movie though, because you can kind of watch it during, you know, Halloween season. You can watch it during Christmas season. Yeah, and I think the steelbook's decent too. I like how they put the 3 rules on there of what not to do, or you'll get gremlins. So enjoy having that one. Next, one of my favorite movies of all time, we got John Carpenter's original Halloween. Awesome, awesome movie. I watch this one every Halloween. And I like how they have the protection on the front, and it just goes perfect with the fall season. Really awesome movie to have. Next, we got Halloween, part of that new trilogy they've been coming out with. And I thought this was a pretty good movie. I did like this one. Awesome, awesome movie. Next, we got It, Chapter 2. Thought this was a decent steelbook right here. And I really like this movie. I think this one's very underrated. I think it goes perfectly with the first It Chapter 1. And actually, I'd probably choose Part 2 over Part 1. I think it just does a good job. Right there. So that's a nice steelbook to have. Next, I got Jaws. This was a really great movie to see for the first time on 4K. Definitely a classic. Nice steelbook right there. So that was my horror section. Now we're going to get into the comedy genre. So we got American Psycho, which is kind of like part horror, but I would consider it more a comedy. Has satirical moments in it. And really nice slipcover because you can, you know, just kind of take that off and see the steelbook. Really, really nice. So I like having that steelbook. And that movie was better than I remembered it, so I'm glad I watched it again. Alright, and then we got Coming to America. Really funny classic comedy here with Eddie Murphy. Nice cover there. So I'm glad I have this one. Laughed quite a bit with that one. Next, my favorite movie from last year, if you saw my top 10 favorite movies of the year list. Free Guy. Yes, I really, really like this movie. This movie I can watch all the time. I can watch a bunch of times. It's just great. It does everything awesome. Awesome soundtrack, great comedic action moments, good heartfelt messages. Just a really, really good story overall. And I really like the steelbook. Really nice. So I'm glad to have Free Guy in the collection. Next, I got Do the Right Thing. And this was a Spike Lee film that I've never seen before. And so I had a fun time watching this movie. A lot of things that still apply to this day, but I picked it up for the artwork alone, and I was not disappointed with the movie either. Really, really fun artwork right there. So I'm glad to have that one. All right, next we got 50 Shades Freed. We're in the romance section now. No, I did not pick this one up because I wanted it, but this was for the fiance. She likes the series, so yeah, we went with the 4K steelbook on this one. I think I've just watched it the one time, and yeah, haven't really gone back to this one. So not too much to say on that one. Next, and that was just the romance section. Really don't have a lot of movies in that section. So now we're moving on to the suspense, thriller, mystery section. And I got Backdraft. Now this was a really awesome movie. And I never saw this one before getting the 4K, so I was glad to have it. And it's a really nice steelbook as well. But I thought this one had a good mystery to it. And some intense moments. Speaking of intense moments, A Quiet Place. Oh, that's actually a Blu-ray one. We'll save that for my Blu-ray steelbooks. So let's actually move on to A Quiet Place Part 2. So this one I actually got in 4K, and I'm happy to have it in the 4K quality, and I really, really like this movie. This was also on my top 10 list of the year last year. Really good suspenseful movie, very intense, just kind of edge of your seat type of movie. Kind of simple on the steelbook, but I'm still glad to have it in the collection. For the movie itself, I did quite enjoy. Next, we're getting into the fantasy adventure section. And I got the Dark Crystal. And I really picked this one up definitely for the artwork. I've never seen this one before, but a really good fantasy family movie. It's a little bit darker than some other fantasy family movies, but it was great to see kind of the puppeteering work by Jim Henson. And yeah, just really glad to have this one in the collection. I still haven't seen the TV series on it they made with that one, though. Let me know if I should check that one out in the comments. Next, I got Jumanji. Now, this is definitely one of my favorite fantasy movies of all time. Really like this. And this is one of the best steelbooks. I mean, you can just take a look at it. You got the board game itself, which how can you beat that? I mean, that's just fantastic. Really, really, really nice. I like having that one. Awesome movie. I really enjoy that. Robin Williams in it. Perfect. Just a great movie. Next, we're getting into my sci-fi section, and I got District 9. Now, I never saw this movie before picking up the 4K. I thought the movie was decent. I was glad to watch it, but I don't know how many more times I would go back and rewatch it again. But a nice little sci-fi movie. And how they kind of present it is very interesting. It's like almost like The Office sort of in terms of a filming presentation. Next, we are going to our action movies. And so we got The Sting, 4K steelbook. Now this is a classic one. This one, Best Picture in the 70s, I believe it was. And I had a fun time with this movie. It's like a con movie. So if you like classic movies, I actually think that's quite a good one. Next, we got Top Gun. And wow, this just gives you great 80s vibes here. And I'm so excited now for Top Gun Maverick, which is on my top 10 anticipated list video now. Just because this movie was so awesome to have. I can't wait to see the sequel. So glad to have that steelbook. Next, we got 1917. I know some people really love this movie. I enjoyed it. I thought, the cinematography, just visually, it looked really nice, how it sounded. But in terms of story, it wasn't the best war story of all time. But it was cool to see. Very visual movie. So, I'm glad to have that on 4K steelbook. Next, Schindler's List on 4K. Now, this is an awesome movie to have. Such a powerful, intense movie. And I never saw it before picking up the 4K. So, really important history movie here. So, I'm glad to have Schindler's List. Next, we're getting into the sports movies. Creed 2. I'm a big Rocky fan, and I really enjoyed the Creed movie so far. So glad to have Creed 2 4K steelbook. This movie I watch a lot because I watch the Rocky movies quite a bit, when I'm working out. And so this definitely gets a lot of view time. Really glad to have that one. Next, we're going to get into the Christmas movies. So we got It's a Wonderful Life, a nice classic. And this 4K Steelbook was awesome, came with a poster, and it just captures the movie perfectly. And this is one you can watch every Christmas season. Just great to have in the collection. Next, I got How the Grinch Stole Christmas, another great one you can watch during the holiday season. And this movie I think is very underrated as well. It's a really, really good Christmas movie. And Jim Carrey is awesome in it. Really, really good performance. Next, we're getting into the Halloween season movies. Well, more of the Halloween family movies. So we got Hocus Pocus. This movie is awesome. I'm going to be curious to see what they do with the sequel. But really nice steelbook. Captures the movie just perfectly. Glad to have this one on 4K. So, glad to have that in the collection. Next, we got Detective Pikachu. I was so super surprised with this movie. This movie was a lot of fun. I hope they keep making more Pokemon movies like this one. So I really enjoyed it, and I thought Ryan Reynolds was a great voice for Detective Pikachu. Made for some funny moments. Next, we got now Godzilla vs. Kong. This one definitely should have been in the action area. Sorry, got mixed up a little bit. But Godzilla vs. Kong is an awesome monster battle movie. Gotta have that one in the collection. And it was super cheap around that Black Friday time. Another action movie that kind of got swapped to the bottom of the pile is John Wick 3. Really, really good movie. I like the John Wick series quite a bit. And this is an awesome steelbook. I like that artwork design. Glad to have that one. Next, we're getting into family animated movies. So we got The Incredibles 2. Really, really good movie. Even though we had to wait a long time to get a sequel. Definitely worth it. I enjoyed it. Now, the steelbook is not perfect. Could have been a lot better. It's just kind of like a washing machine. I wish I would have seen something different here. But we gotta live with it. Really good movie though. So still glad to have it. Next, we got Toy Story. Gotta have Toy Story. Such a great Pixar film. Really, really enjoy that franchise. And so if you got Toy Story, you gotta have Toy Story 2. Another awesome addition to the franchise. And then if you got Toy Story 2, you gotta have Toy Story 3. This is probably my favorite out of the Toy Story franchise. It's tough to decide though. I kind of go back and forth, but I do really like Toy Story 3 quite a bit. And then if you got Toy Story 3, you gotta have Toy Story 4. And I thought this was actually a really, really good movie, so I'm glad they continued with the Toy Story franchise. And I'm also excited to see what they do with that Lightyear movie that's coming up soon. That was on my honorable mention anticipated list. And so that is all my 4K steelbooks in the collection. If you want to see my Blu-ray steelbooks next, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know in the comments what was your favorite steelbook I showed off today. Or if I'm missing a steelbook and you definitely think I should pick it up and review it, let me know in the comments as well. Let's have those fun movie discussions down below. Also, if you're discovering my channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe right now. That way I can get you more movie unboxing, movie haul, movie review, movie ranking content the entire year. I post often and we talk everything movies on this channel, so I don't want you to miss anything. I want us to build this mega league of film fans together on this channel. Also, like the video. And this is Mega Mike the Movie Man reminding you to make every day a movie day.